Okay. Good evening. I am calling to order the April 20th Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. It is 7:15. And the first agenda item we have is the Eisenman hearing, 26 Rush Pond Road. The Lakeville Zoning Board of Appeals, acting in accordance with the Mass General Laws, Chapter 48 as amended, will conduct a public hearing on Thursday, April 20th, 2023 at 7 p.m. in the Lakeville Public Library, 4 Precinct Street, upon the petition of Elizabeth Eisenman. A variance is requested under 5.1 to construct a porch that would be within the front setback. Property site is 26 Rush Pond Road and is owned by Elizabeth Eisenman and Erica Dean. And I believe you're here representing the petitioner?
Yes, the job, yes.
Okay. I'm going to read a couple of things into the record. Then I'm going to ask you to come up to the podium and state your name and address or what your role is, and then we will go from there. So we have an actual letter from the Board of Health dated April 10th. We received a copy of the petition for hearing for 26 Rush Pond Road. The Board of Health has reviewed the septic as-built plan for 26 Rush Pond Road, which shows the existing septic tank 12 feet from the foundation. The proposed decks show concrete sonotubes 9.5 feet from the foundation. Lakeville Board of Health Regulation 2.5 requires that no structure like sonotubes, decks, sheds, etc. shall be within 5 feet of any component. The applicant needs to confirm that no sonotube will be within 5 feet of the existing septic tank prior to building, or request a waiver from the Board of Health. If you have any further questions, please contact our office. I believe that is the only memo I have on file.
The planning board has one in there.
Well, I'm missing it, so fortunately you have it. I'm surprised. They usually always have a memo. Planning Board, April 19th, at their Thursday, April 18th meeting, Planning Board reviewed the above referenced petition for hearing from the Board of Appeals. The board has no comments regarding this petition. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so tell us what you're doing.
My name is Scott Donio. I'm representing TNA Contracting. We are building a farmer's porch off the front of the house. We're coming out 2 feet at the step. At that point, we are, what I found out, 34 feet from a road on what I thought was 120 feet to the edge of a cul-de-sac, 100 feet from the neighbor's driveway, which runs up the other side of the front yard, and I'm on a 2-acre property. I did not feel that I was encroaching in any way. I am far enough away from what you were discussing with the Board of Health. I am nowhere near sinking a sonotube near the septic system. I've already looked at that. And I am at least 12 to 15 feet off of the tank. The leaching field is on the other side of the driveway, which is probably 75 to 80 feet away from the proposed deck that I plan on building.
So you're confirming you're not going to be within 5 feet of any component of the structure related to the septic, correct?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So, basically you're looking for relief from a front setback of a couple of feet. I actually have driven by the house and I don't personally see any issues or any detriment to the neighborhood. But at this point, unless you have anything else to add, I'll ask any of the other board members if they have any questions for the representative of the petitioner.
No.
So you're saying the Board of Health is incorrect in the
No, I didn't say they're incorrect.
saying
I know where they are. What I'm saying is I stayed away from anything that was there.
He's meeting their provision. They want to make sure he's certain feet away.
Yeah, you're gonna be-
No, I know where the septic tank is. I know where the deck is. I know where the sonotube is.
Seems like it's 3.5
I know, yeah.
How close it is?
What?
It's pretty far.
You think,
3.5 feet from the tank to the sonotube?
What?
he's saying he thinks it's 3.5 feet from the tank to the sonotube.
If it's, the distance from the structure is 12 feet to the tank, first sonotube is 9.5 feet from the tank, from the structure to the sonotube, that's 2.5 feet.
The tank is off the front of the structure. Okay, the sonotubes are set back
Yep.
in here, and they are not in the vicinity of the tank. If I can probably meet with them if there's a thing, but shouldn't be any confusion on the septic system. I found pipes, I found everything. You know, I'm pretty good with what I needed to do.
So this drawing here, right?
This
If I'm
drawing
looking
I
at this
have in
drawing,
facsimile,
excuse me,
sir.
if I'm looking at this drawing, right, there's the
Same
porch.
drawing I
You can
have?
approach the table. You can look-
Yeah, okay, that's
Right.
what we want.
This is the front deck, and that's the tank, right?
Yeah,
So this deck,
it's 12 feet up.
right,
Yes, sir.
and the tank is how far up from the structure?
I don't have that measurement with me, but I probably could get it off another fee. I probably could get it off another thing.
12 feet.
This is saying that they didn't want.
So the sonotube is how many feet from the structure?
The sonotube is on that corner. and the
Right, but how many
sonotube is on
feet?
this corner.
How many feet from the structure, this first sonotube?
How much were they asking me that I had to be away from?
No,
At least 5 feet.
Well, yes,
So,
I am on a 12-foot deck. I'm carrying 10 feet off of the house. The septic system in this drawing, they don't have a definitive number as far as how far off of the house that it is, but I am diagonal on the corner, and I have another one that is opposite on this side. I did not pay attention to that, but I do know that I'm 5 feet away from the corner of the septic tank. That I do know.
yeah, how? Because it looks like the tank to me is right here, and it's 12 feet from the structure, right? Is that in agreement? Are we in agreement?
With
All right. The first sonotube is 9.5 feet from the structure, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
fine.
So if you're 9.5 and you're 12 feet,
Yeah,
the
that's
tank's
the-
12 feet.
12 feet is over here in the middle. The 12-foot part of it is where the deck extrudes out to the stairs. It is a deck where the deck is here, and that deck is 10 feet, and then the stairs are in the middle of it,
Right.
over to this point. So I am over here in the middle of the deck where the arrow is at the 43, which if we're going across the front of this house and we're going the length of the house, we're at 40 feet, I'm 20 feet over where the steps are gonna be. My sonotubes are 6 feet apart
Good.
at this point. So if I was to add 6 feet, subtract over, the septic is at this point out toward the front of that. I know what you're asking me, and you know what, I'm almost tempted to drive out there and run over the tape.
But you know what we can do, Terry, we can condition if the board votes to approve the special permit, you can go back up there now.
Okay,
If the board votes to approve the special permit, we can condition it to build
You can
into the
condition-
language, and that way, when they go
Yes,
to
sir.
inspect
I
it,
just
they'll
want to make sure we're in agreement that it's within
Okay.
5 feet of the tank.
Okay.
okay. I would be more than happy to confirm all of that, guys. I have no
Well, this one,
problem
we
with
can
that.
condition it, and you'll have to confirm it for the building inspector when he goes out and
With Derek, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'll cut the porch backwards. I'll drop back if I have
meet
to.
the
I'll do whatever I've got to do. I've just got to do it now. I'm committed.
Any other questions? Anybody else? Anyone want to make a motion with the, actually, hang on. Anyone in the audience have any comments or questions in regards to this petition? Okay. Anyone want to make a motion with a condition on it, maybe?
I make a motion, we approve this petition with the
Condition.
condition of you meet with the Board of Health and Building Inspector and make sure it complies to the.
I will, because actually I'm going to comply it myself, because I want to know now.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Okay, so you'll be in compliance with the Board of Health regulations. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Congratulations. So-
Thanks for bringing that to my attention.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have 10 days to get the paperwork done, am I correct? And then goes to the clerk's office in 21 days. After that, then you can get your permit issued. If you do it before then, well, you've already done it, so you're
I've done it,
already
yeah.
asking at your own risk. That's why you're back here.
You got it.
Yeah, Kathy will follow up once the approval's drafted and signed and
Okay.
let you know.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you finally at
Yes.
the other end of the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Take care. All right. Next up. Lakeville Zoning Board of Appeals, acting in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, as amended, will conduct a public hearing on Thursday, April 20th, 2023, at 7 p.m. in the Lakeville Public Library for Precinct Street upon the petition of Chris McCready. A variance is requested under 5.1 to place a shed that would be within the side setback on a pre-existing non-conforming lot. Property site is 14 Coombs Street, is owned by Christopher McCready and Jane Ioli. The applicant documents are at the planning department. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So, I'm not sure who's going to be presenting, but whoever it is can make their way up there. I'm going to read a couple of memos into the record from the planning board on April 19th. At their Thursday, April 18th meeting, the planning board reviewed the above referenced petition for hearing from the Board of Appeals. Board has no comments. I have a memo dated April 10th from the Board of Health. We received a copy of the petition for hearing, 14 Coombs Street. The Board of Health has reviewed the septic as-built plan for Coombs Street, which shows the existing septic components to be greater than 5 feet from the proposed shed. Therefore, the Board of Health has no objections to the proposed shed. Okay, so tell us what you're doing, sir.
Well, my name is Chris, this is my wife Janie. We are looking to have a variance on the right side of our property to have it 10 feet from the neighbor instead of the 20 that was proposed. We just bought the shed, we weren't aware of the zoning issue. We would like the 10-foot, like I said. They offered to have the shed in the middle of the yard, which would be in front of a leaching field. So if we put it to the right a little bit more, it'll be off the leaching field, and it'll give us a little bit more clearance from the leaching field. But that's about it. We'd like to have it on the right side instead of right in the back of our backyard, in front of a leaching field.
Okay. Seems pretty plain and simple. You're just looking to get a little closer to the sideline than the bylaw allows. So, questions from the board?
What is the height of the shed?
The height,
What is the dimensions?
it's 10 by 12. Or is it 8 by 12?
It's 8 by 12.
8 by 12,
You have
8
in
by
front of us,
12.
yeah.
Don't know the height of it.
Just a one-story with an A-frame roof.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, it's not that tall. So,
Is it on a permanent foundation?
is it on,
A permanent foundation, a slab?
we'll probably do crushed stone under it?
In other words, it's movable.
It's movable, yes. Yeah.
The neighbor's yard, are there any structures close to the property line on the side that you will be?
They have a shed. It's in the, it's even further back though. We would put the shed in front. They have a shed that's way further back, almost in the woods.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be directly right next to each other.
Jerry, any questions?
So how are you orienting the shed? So you have 10 feet from the corner that's closest to the sideline.
Exactly, yeah, 10 feet. It's kind of kitty-cornered, angled.
So are you like 8 by the 12, the length going out, the longer length going out?
It's kind of sideways, but 8 by 12. So when we look outside, we'll see the shed kind of angled towards us
Okay,
in the backyard.
okay. Okay.
Other questions? Anyone in the audience have a comment, question? Mark, you got anything on this one?
No, we don't.
I didn't think you did. I figured I'd be courteous.
Seems pretty low compared to some other bigger stuff going on.
What happened to our documentation requirement here?
I haven't seen this yet.
Okay, anyone interested in making a motion?
I'll make a motion to grant the variance.
Okay. There's a variance, correct? Variance. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to grant the variance as applied for. Do we have any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. You're all set.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's over.
Fortunately, this one didn't backfire. Next time, you'll have to check before you make the purchase, right?
Exactly, yeah.
We're getting- Imagine you were getting nervous. This was an
That
easy.
complex for a shed. Yeah. I guess everything is that.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Take care, have a good summer.
Thank you.
She's on her way at some point, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Kathy, yes, she's, so I hand wrote a couple of conditions based on what we were talking about.
Yep.
So she's typing those in.
Okay. No, the reason I'm asking is what I'm going to do is fortunately, I believe our,
Mr. Cooney,
do I have the revised, where's my revised one here? It's got this. Oh, yeah, it is. Are you Mr. Cooney?
Yes.
Well, perfect timing, because I think she told you to show up at 7:30. We're running a little bit behind, so we're waiting for some paperwork to get here on the other two hearings. So what I am going to do at this point is move you up in the agenda and give you the floor to give us a little snapshot of what you want to tell us about.
Thank you for inviting me. I don't know if I should start. Well, have any of you had a chance to, should I state my name for the record or something?
I would
like that?
state your name for the record and then probably give us more of the Reader's Digest version of what you're
Okay.
proposing.
Hi, I'm Daniel Cooney, 59 Main Street and 58. My wife Christine is with me, and my neighbor Claire came along for the ride. And yeah, we're talking about, well, we've got an article on the warrant now, and it's about amending the commercial zone to allow more non-impact small businesses to locate on Main Street, and we're one of them. I think it's a good idea for the whole town, not just us. I've looked at it, we've been sort of looking at this for over 2 years. We've talked to the planning board quite a bit about it. It seemed a little more rigid on what we're doing and how this, I think they were a little upset too that I named you guys as the special permit granters, and they seem to say that you're I don't know, what was the word, more I don't know, more lenient and maybe just you would set a precedent, or this would set a precedent, and I don't think that any of that's true, but have you had a chance to sort of look at the amendment at all? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially what it is we're a small business. We have a relatively small parcel of land. It's commercially zoned. Because we're in the import business, we import alcohol, but we do not retail it. There's a three-tier system of alcohol distribution in the United States that says you can only do two of the three things. You can wholesale, you can retail, and you can import. And we do import and wholesale. So we don't want to be a retailer, and we don't need to be. If we could, there wouldn't even be an argument here. We could host our stuff there, we could sell about the front, but we don't want to and we can't. So there's a little thing there. But anyway, we're a small business, and we're growing. We started our business across the street from where we want to build this little building, and we built with Nate's help. We built a little addition, and that's been our offices, and we have a small distribution center down at in Wareham. But it's kind of a hassle going back and forth, and we're a small business, family run, and it'd just be ideal to be right there in one space. So this article that we wrote, looking at all the situation and, on Main Street commercial property, trying to find something like, and I'm looking at other towns and other places across the country where they have similar problems. They have an urban environment, small business, never mind the Amazons and stuff going in. This is a small business, small town, small street. So we try to design something for small business like us. And I'm sure there's a lot of other businesses now, people selling things out of their garage on eBay and things like this, that need a little space that they can, relax and do their business. So this was designed to support that, small businesses. And the key to it is it can never get any bigger because it's in a small lot and never can be, that dirty word in town now is warehouse, and so, call it that if you want, but it's a tiny distribution space. But it also has a retail component. It also has office components, and it's a friendly, small, low-impact business. A kind of business I think any town, especially our town, Lakeville, where we've lived for 22 years, would enjoy having it. We'd be a good addition, I think. And I don't know if it makes much of a difference, but I just had, I've been working with an artist to render what it might look like, so maybe to take the image out of some Amazon thing that's going to be in, Chuck Simmons' old house, out of anybody's mind. Can I share that with you as well? Because I didn't have a chance to send it in today. Would that be all right?
Well, here's my concern.
Okay.
You're talking specifically, which is probably what's driving this, what you're looking to do, and obviously you're looking to have that opportunity potentially for other areas of town too, but keep in mind, if a bylaw gets passed, it's not going to really, what you're going to propose to build on yours may not be what someone else is proposing to build on theirs or someone else. If you were applying, let's assume the bylaw gets passed, and then you're going to come back to us, because again, we're going to be, it passes this way, we're going to be the special permit granting authority, then we'd want to have a conversation about specifically what you're looking to do. So
Okay.
I don't want to get too into the weeds on your
No, I
specific
understand.
project,
I
because
understand.
it's,
But as an example, we would be an example that I think would be good to understand that this isn't what, the big fear is of having some huge thing. So I wouldn't mind just sharing, and I know that it would be, and this is the key, is that this is not going to be a precedent of negative proportions. And we're a good example of a small business looking for a small place that can have their offices and maybe a retail component and a small size storage distribution area with one dock door. I think it's a good model for the town, I think, frankly. I know none of us that I know really want to have Cisco here or taking over the town necessarily. But, so, yeah, to your point,
I think you're doing a great job describing what you're looking to do. We don't need to get into
Okay.
conceptually what a specific,
Okay. All right.
a specific site is going to look like. Unless anybody, I'm
No,
one person,
I
I'm not gonna,
I agree with
I'm not
you.
gonna take over the board here. That's my opinion, but I am.
You come to Middleborough, they probably could build it right now.
It's true. A lot of towns would probably have no problem. Yeah, I think,
Yeah, honestly, in my opinion, if the concept is a good concept, it's, at the end of the day, it's gonna be irrelevant what it looks like, because what
Right.
you may think looks good, I may not think looks good, but something else that you don't think looks good, I may think looks good, so it's the concept, I guess, really is the way I look at it, that you gotta
right.
sell
And
everybody
I
on.
think in the concept, it's small, it's low impact, a good transitional between, Woods Edge there, it's got 36, 55 and over apartments behind it. I think there's the sensitivity to what they'd be comfortable with should be a consideration. And maybe other lots in town have a similar type of thing. So, again, it's kind of gives you, the zoning board or the town, the right, there's certainly overview, but I just think it's a good fit. And it's the kind of business, it's friendly, it's low impact, quiet, 9 to 5 hours. These are the kind of things that make it a good fit. And you get more taxes. We're happy to pay more taxes to be here rather than split our business in two places. We love this town, we grew up here. I've had many art exhibits in this room here, and I'm, nice to be here. So, I don't know, that's my 2 cents. Is there, I don't know, anything else I can add
Do you
to
have any
it?
questions?
Should I ask a few clarifying questions?
Sure.
Why 7,000 square feet? Like, what's the,
Because we want 6,000 square feet. And we saw it, and I think at one of the planning board meetings, they said, well, maybe you shouldn't make it so rigid, give it a little flexibility, so, yeah. And essentially what our idea is 4,000 square feet, 2,000 of office space, 2,000 of retail, and 6,000 of storage space. So that's all we want. That's 10,000 square feet. 6,000 square feet, by the way, is half the size of the dollar store right next door. It's a small, relatively small storage space. So, that's why 7,000 is small, because it's small and it doesn't, we don't need to be much bigger,
okay. So let me run a scenario by you. is there any cap on the retail, office, or service business side for square footage? And then you can just append 7,000 square feet of warehouse to that? Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, we designed this to say, yeah,
Every
so that you
retail,
just can't
office,
have a
service
pure.
space you could have a 20,000 square foot retail space, and then you can automatically have, if your lot is accommodating, 7,000 square feet.
Maximum.
of warehouse space.
In a commercial space, maximum. Yeah, something like that, sure, yeah, I mean, yeah.
So for each commercial, retail, or office space, they could have 7,000 square feet of warehouse space.
By special permit.
By special permit, yeah. I mean, if it fits the lot.
Well, that's kind of
It's a
like-
case-by-case basis, I think. That's what special permit is about, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But this allows for warehouse space in every potential retail, office, or service space.
Well, I mean, again, according to special permit, if it fits and there's a limited amount of space, there, then if they got room and, I don't know, if there's something that's already 20,000 square feet, then obviously they have a lot more room, a lot more acreage or whatever, anyway.
Sure.
So, but I think this is designed for small lots, like ours, and maximum size. So,
I get your intent. I'm looking at
no, I understand.
every possible
Right.
development
Right.
coming forward
Sure.
in the future, right?
Right,
And what we could anticipate
Right.
from a board.
right. No, I understand.
But the maximum in a lot
Maximum,
would be with
according to
7.
this,
Even if it's
7.
a 10-acre lot, they can still do only 7. But adding the 7 to it doesn't change the coverage type of a deal. So you probably have to make a trade-off. If you're on a small lot that was already maxed out, I think is...
Right, but think about the implications of that. I mean, the traffic that might come from that if you have additional warehouse space on a lot. Right?
I guess
You
I
gotta
don't
move
know.
product in and out.
But if it's a retail already, if you're saying it's a 20,000 square foot retail space, they can do this, they can do that anyway. They don't need a special permit. It's already there. They're retail.
Well,
Again, if we
frequency
could do
by which
retail,
the
we wouldn't
traffic
even
comes in
need
and
it.
out is
Sorry?
different. The frequency is different, right? The frequency of the traffic. At a dollar store, what's the frequency of the truck traffic there?
Too much, if you ask me. I live across the street. I mean, they empty the trash at 4 in the morning.
I think your
there
point is the truck
sometimes, and
traffic is
they deliver
minimal.
at midnight,
Yeah, the truck
in the
traffic
front.
is-
If you have the warehouse space, your truck traffic might be a lot more frequent.
No.
Yeah, 7,000 isn't a very
I don't
big
think
number.
they have, I don't think they can build out anymore.
Times how many spaces?
They can't build that anymore. I remember going to the planning board meeting when they were proposing that.
Right.
And they're the max actually there, so there's no room. I mean, I think that this is designed really just to, so I can see your point, what are the worst case scenarios, but I don't think it falls into
Are
that.
you gonna be the last? No.
Am I gonna be the last?
Right.
No, I hope not, because I think this is a good idea
Yeah.
for small businesses, because it's small. The key to this thing is small, this article is, it helps small businesses, not big ones. Big ones don't need help. Really.
Anybody else have any questions they'd like to ask of Mr. Cooney? Well, thank you very much, and good luck on your quest here, and
Okay, thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
can I just ask, I feel like this gentleman said he thought it was a good idea. I mean, now I'm gonna start a campaign to get some votes, because it's in 2 weeks. So, I don't know, what do you think, as businessman yourself? Do you think something like this that's low impact, multi-use, neighborhood friendly? Because again, we've talked to all the neighbors back there, and
I can tell you personally, I'm not opposed to it, so you don't need to worry about selling me, but...
Neither am I.
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
One vote, and
If I can get your votes if you go to the town meeting, so. Thank you for hearing me, and thank you for inviting me.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All righty. Mr. Shaughnessy,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Youngquist and let him deal with you. How's that? You ready, sir?
I'm ready. What did you bring Jamie along for?
We have nothing to do tonight.
They don't want me to
No,
stay home.
sit down. We don't need to be here.
Who said that?
What's that?
Yes? Someone knock?
Yeah, it keeps knocking.
Podium.
Oh, go to the podium. You can stand at the podium. They want to be able to hear you nice and clear. All right, back to you.
Where's the,
Mark, do you have decisions,
Oh, yes,
the drafts?
yes, I do.
Hot off the press, right?
hot off the press?
Literal.
Yeah.
All right, sir. You got one more? I'm good, I don't need them. You can keep it, Nick. It's a nice big briefcase you got there.
So, I've read through this already. Yep. Okay, Mark? You have any comments on this?
No, I spoke with Mr. Attorney Shaughnessy this afternoon. We reviewed several additional items and conditions which have been incorporated into the draft. It's also been reviewed by town council, and she's made some edits which you can see in the right-hand side of the document. And I believe, though, Attorney O'Shaughnessy does have one item he wants to discuss.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Mark is correct. We've had some back and forth. Attorney Russell has reviewed this, then there's some minor errors subsequent to her review. And in speaking with Mark today, he proposed a condition. It's on page 14, number 3E. A building permit shall not be issued for any building until all utilities, drainage, and the road is constructed with a base coat of asphalt. Traditionally, in this town, I think these projects were being built, I think the thought was to let the developer construct the buildings as he's constructing the road. Following this sequence would mean that we would install everything, install the base coat, and then we'd have to bring heavy equipment back in to excavate for the foundations and do everything else. It kind of seems, I understand the intent behind it, but you're kind of trucking over what you've done in the past, and it seems a little wasteful to me. On the last few projects I've been involved with, when roadways or driveways were constructed, they were done in concert with foundation work and the stick building of the structures. So that is a condition that I have some concern with, and I'd like to hear what the board's thoughts are on it.
Anybody get a comment? You want me to start first? Usually, when we do subdivision roads, we don't get a building permit till we have the blacktop in place.
Although this is a 40B, you're building single-family homes and on smaller lots, so essentially it's a small lot subdivision.
I understood, but I think that the practice in town has been to allow it. And I'll point to the small 16-unit project on Rhode Island Road. Those homes, that's a common driveway, and I think it's similar in size to this, Jamie, if I'm not correct. But when that was under construction,
Are you talking the one
Alternatives.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So the roadway construction, utility construction coincided with some of the housing construction. He wasn't prohibited from moving forward until everything was done. And there is a condition here that says you're not going to get the last 2 certificates of occupancy until everything is done, unless a bond is posted to cover everything.
But you can't have people moving in and living on a street that's not constructed. And the other issue is that oftentimes, unless the road is completed, then the drainage isn't going to function, and the drainage isn't installed, then it's going to cause problems for the neighbors. And this has been an issue in this town before, and is currently in another location. So, so that's typically why communities require on roads. Now, sometimes, as a concession to the developer, the house on the corner, which oftentimes is a Form A lot or something, is often times that they allow them to pull a permit for that one to be able to get started. But as far as the rest of the development goes, usually it's the road needs to go in.
But I guess my question is, does a building permit preclude a foundation permit from being issued?
I think, I don't know what it is in Lakeville, but usually in some other towns that I've dealt with, they'll give you a foundation permit, but it's at your own risk.
Correct, and I did speak with the building commissioner this afternoon, and that's kind of what he said. Yeah, it'd be at your own risk. But technically, a foundation permit is a building permit. So I would ask if this board is not willing to remove this condition, at least clarify it such that the building inspector could be, in his discretion, and at the applicant's risk, could seek and be granted a foundation permit. Because, I mean, at least that way we're not bringing heavy equipment in and digging up the road. I mean, it's not like it's a loop subdivision road, so.
Yeah, but you have the road is way on this side, and then you have all the houses on this side. You can drive around behind the houses with heavy machinery.
It's going to be tight on. Jamie Bissonette from Zenith Consulting Engineers. On the backside of some of the houses in our waivers, we have 12, 15 feet setback to the tree line, from the back property line, once it's constructed. And on the front side, we have our septic systems that would be going in. So in a manner like this, let's say that we build on lots 1, 3, and 8, and the septics go in and the houses are built as we're building in the middle. We can't go over the front because we have the septics to contend with. And the backs in the cases, we have decks and stairs. It could become problematic. So I do see the road getting used a lot. To clarify on something, we're not looking to necessarily get occupancy permits before the binder is down. That's absolutely not the case. We would agree that binder needs to be down to get occupancy. Our concern is we'd like to get started where the road goes in, drainage goes in, and then be able to start putting in foundations so we can continue working and moving forward. I know this has been done several times. I believe if you even look down at the Riverside that we did, somewhere around, I think it was 111 units. I think most of that was done on gravel with the units going in. We didn't have any problems as far as construction issues that I'm aware of. So I do understand Mark's point 100%, and I do agree. In most towns, that is how it is practiced.
Yeah.
We're asking for an exception here to what Lakeville's allowed in the past. That's what the developer would like to do, and we're asking the board if the board would be amenable to it. That's really about it.
I guess I can at least just confirm for you folks.
Yeah.
Jamie's statement is accurate. It has traditionally been, whether it's Riverside, whether it's Paul Turner, as far back as, I'm going really far back, but there was a development that Phil McCarron did years ago off of Bridge Street, that same thing. So I don't think it's unreasonable to your point, Jamie, for occupancies, you need to have something good and firm down there, because to Mark's point, you can't have people moving into houses, driving over dirt and gravel and whatnot, but
Yes.
to what Jamie explained, that has traditionally been done in this town.
Chris?
Well, Mark, does delaying the occupancy help with your issues, do you think, or
What?
does delaying the road until the occupancy?
So you could have the utilities and the road constructed until the first occupancy and prior to the first occupancy. So regardless of whether he builds the first house on lot 1 first or the last one down,
Yep.
when he wants to get an occupancy permit, he has to base coat that roadway.
We're in complete agreement.
Okay,
Yep.
because, I mean, if the market conditions are such, he builds one and,
Yeah, walks away. Yep.
yeah, can't build any more.
No, we're in complete agreement. The game plan hopefully is to build 3 or 4 at a time. Go in, you get a better price with doing multiple foundations, multiple water tie-ins. So the hope is to go in and really be able to get these done in chunks. And so you're right, first occupancy, binder course, and we'll be most likely posting a bond for the remaining 2
Well,
lots.
that's the other question. So if you're gonna do it that way, I think the bond ought to be posted as soon as the base coat is down for the remainder of the site work, regardless of whether there's 2 houses left or 10. To ensure that, you know, let's say market conditions are bad for years and he does walk away, that the town can come in and finish the road for the residents that are there.
I think based on my conversation today, I don't think that will be an issue when we spoke with Dee. Because, you know, he did feel that the value of the lots themselves actually held more than what the actual bond would be.
Sure, of course.
So I don't think there'll be any problem with that.
Any other questions, Jerry? No. Chris?
No, I just think if the town is protected, that the road will be finished, then that's fine.
Yeah.
How would we phrase this, Mark?
So we could say that the building permit shall not be issued for any building until utilities, drainage, and the gravel base for the road is installed,
Would
period.
that be fine?
That sounded fine to me. Yeah, so the drainage goes in, gravel base for the road, and then we can get building permits and then
Utilities.
And then
utilities
say-
as well, yes. Yep,
And then say prior to
First occupancy?
the first occupancy permit, the base coat of asphalt shall be installed,
yep.
and then a bond to complete,
Shall be posted.
yeah, the remainder of the site work shall be,
We should probably have a little bit of a window, not to split hairs now, but just for clarity, because we're gonna be doing the binder course, and it's gonna be inspected, then we've gotta come to a subsequent meeting to post the bond,
right, yeah.
and we don't wanna have a shutdown site.
Oh, yeah.
So, as long as it's understood that there'll be, you know, maybe
window.
2 months, you know, as we get prices from the review consultant, and they have to agree with us, and then you have to agree, and everything else, 1 or 2 month lag, so we can keep working, that'd be great.
So that's for the entire roadway? It's
That's
not
correct.
up to whatever's been built?
Yeah, because you'll have people living there, so you need access for emergency vehicles, and
Yeah.
presumably there'll be more contractors working there, so, yeah.
Because you, what are the affordables, 1, 4, and 8 or something?
Exactly, yep.
They will be built first. Usually. Because they're already sold.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All goes well.
Huh?
All goes well.
All goes well. Okay. Any other questions? How do we word this then with the conditions?
So,
It's outlined by the town planner.
Okay.
So I'll read what, so building permit shall not be issued for any building until all utilities, drainage, and a gravel base for the road is constructed. Prior to the first occupancy permit, a base coat of asphalt will be installed. Within 6 months, a bond shall be agreed upon and posted to complete the roadway and other site improvements.
Okay,
I like it. Thank you.
the way it's gonna be written there, okay?
Jeff, can you have a motion to
Yeah.
make that amendment?
Can we have a motion to approve that amendment?
I'll make that motion to approve the amendment.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Jerry? Did you say?
I'm a nay.
Okay. Passes, we have 3 ayes and 1 nay, so it passes 3-1. Now, to approve, we have to approve the,
And you have to approve it for the vice chair to make a motion for the vice chair to sign the approval, because the chair is,
If I may,
go right ahead.
if I may, Mr. Chair, on the last
actually,
page 20, Mark?
What is it?
I think it's page 20, 20 and 21, there's a few items we're asking for the board to vote. If the board doesn't sign the decision today, the board would authorize the chairman to sign the decision on behalf of the board. The other thing we're asking for is that we'll come back with final plans for you folks to approve, and we'd ask that the chairman be authorized to sign the plans on behalf of the board. And then as part of the regulatory agreement, there's an acknowledgement section. The regulatory agreement, the form of it was part of our original application to the board. And I'm asking that the board authorize the chairman to sign that as well. That way I'm not chasing down five signatures. I know if I had to chase down John's one, so I prefer to just have one person be authorized to sign it. We've done it in the past, so I don't think it's an unusual request.
I can confirm that has been done on
It has
a number of these projects in the
But
past.
can you sign that, John?
What you'd want to do is request the vice chair to sign since he's chairing this meeting.
Well, I didn't know how to phrase it.
No, I get it.
I don't know how to phrase it either.
The vice chair,
Yeah.
whatever.
Do I have we need a vote on this, to have me sign what's the comprehensive permit, basically,
Yes.
To authorize the vice chair to sign on behalf of the board.
on behalf of the
Comprehensive permit.
Somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Okay, now we have to actually
another
approve.
motion, same thing, just to authorize the vice chair to sign the plans.
Do we have
I'll make a motion for the vice chair to sign the plans.
a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the third one would be to make a motion to have the vice chairman sign the regulatory agreement on behalf of the board.
So motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. We actually have to approve approve it.
Approve the comprehensive permit?
Yes.
You haven't done that yet.
No, we haven't, that's what I was making.
Well,
You've been voting all the amendments.
Wait, no, that was the first motion, where, isn't that the first motion?
No, that
Jerry voted-
that was for your,
Oh, that was for my amendment,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
So now, yeah, okay.
I just wanted to tell the applicant that
heads up guys, she's.
Here.
a sign was requested, so that was added, so I don't know if you saw that. A sign.
Was it added? I saw
Yes.
that was the no pushing of snow on the basin sign. Yeah,
So it just says a
that's-
sign will be placed at the end of the road, stating that no snow storage is allowed.
Yeah,
just wanted to make sure you.
Thank you.
Now we need to approve the comprehensive permit for
I'll make a motion to approve the comprehensive permit.
144 Bedford Street, 109 Bedford Street, Lakeville, Mass., known as North Bedford Crossing LLC. Do I have a second? Need a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Jerry?
Nay.
3-1. Passes.
And I think the last issue is for you folks to vote the waivers.
Do we have to read the waivers?
You can, well,
Or as listed?
I would, as listed in the.
Yeah, as
You
listed.
don't need to
There's a
read them all.
long-
Everybody has a copy of them, so.
Yes, I read them all. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the list of waivers found in the document?
I'll make a motion to approve the list of requested waivers.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Jerry?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Okay?
Thanks for working with us, guys, appreciate it.
I know the next question's gonna be when's the document's gonna be signed, because everybody always asks that, so.
That is the question we gotta ask. When do you think they'll be ready to be signed?
Early next week, just have some the edits to make, and, yeah, so,
And you're around next week, Jeff?
Yeah.
yeah. We'll
That's the real
call Jeff as soon as it's ready, and then we'll call
Jeff's
you.
going to Aruba on Saturday. You may have to chase him down.
No, he isn't. I said if he was. You know where to find me if I'm not at the office.
Crazy today.
All right,
Can you come by
All
tomorrow?
right, thank you very much. Have a great night.
take care.
Yeah, like after 9.
Okay,
Yeah.
next agenda item. Residences at LeBaron Hills LLC hearing continued. So, refresh my memory. Did we close this hearing? We did. Okay, so even though it says hearing, it's closed. I thought we did, so. This is the Concom stuff, right?
Yeah, that's just what was
Yep.
added.
Okay,
I
so,
don't get one.
nope, you don't get one, so give
I
that to
read
those
it
two
already.
guys. Jerry hit one?
I got one, thank you.
Okay, so we have the comprehensive permit document here that has been reviewed by both our council and the applicant's council. There are two, I'm gonna call them conditions, I'm not sure. Are they conditions on a comprehensive? Yeah, there are two conditions that we need to, or I would suggest that we include in these. One is that the Conservation Commission got their peer review back, which I just gave everyone a copy of, and we should include a condition in the modification of the comprehensive permit that the applicant comply with the Concom's recommendations, or?
Yeah, so that is, wait, I don't have the updated version.
Yeah, I don't know.
Show John.
We actually were able to update that one?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's
Oh,
why Kathy
Good
was,
job, Kathy. Typing away over there, huh?
so if you go to page 6, number 12 and number 13.
Okay. So number 12 refers to identified items from Beals and Thomas on the April 14th, 2023 document, which we have, which is basically, you're going to comply with what Concom is looking for, and 13, actually 13, 12 refers to the document, 13 refers to order of conditions for Phase 5 from the Conservation Commission.
Right.
Anything else in there, Mark, that's changed?
Yeah, so on the page before, at the bottom of page 5, we added inspections.
Correct.
Site inspections, so that's different. So those are the only 3 things that we've added since this came back from Amy this morning, I think?
Yep,
This morning, so...
So basically, there'll be third-party inspections to make sure that certain aspects of the project are being completed correctly, and the peer review company that we use is going to be doing those inspections, correct?
No, I'm going to probably use a more local firm because Beals & Thomas is based out of Worcester.
Even better. We like local.
Yes, so...
Okay. And again, not to be repetitive, but the other 2 conditions are basically telling the applicant, do what Concom tells you got to do.
Yes.
So
Address the letter and you know, you need an order of conditions, so whatever that entails.
Whatever they tell you to do, you got to do.
And if it means that the site gets adjusted in a significant manner, which I don't think it will, but if it does,
then they have to comply with
back.
it. Yeah.
And they have to come back to this board here, so.
You can't pass go unless you meet their order of conditions. Any questions for Mark?
Can I ask a question just in terms of the third-party inspection? Is that just a requirement for this particular project? Or is that
No,
something that you can make a requirement for other?
Yes, so we've been beginning to do it for planning boards, site plans, or subdivisions. We've been doing that for the last one we approved. It was just a minor drainage thing, so I went up and did the inspections. But for something more substantial like this, including a lot more engineered installation, we will have a local engineer come and do the inspections. So you want to make sure that they install the pipe correctly, the catch basins, drainage structures, that they're wrapped in fabric, you know, that they use the right kind of stone, that they compact the road correctly.
But are we making that a requirement for every project?
Yes.
I didn't hear that for that last one.
Yes, it's in.
Let me jump in. That was incorporated into this one because this is a modification of a comprehensive permit. So this permit has been ongoing forever. It wasn't originally in there. It was built into the other one off the bat.
I see.
Yeah, so it's
we're pointing it out because it was an amendment to the document.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so my only question, Mark, is do we vote the waivers first or do we vote the comprehensive permit first? Or does it matter?
I don't think it matters, but you can...
I'm going to vote the waivers first since they're part of the comprehensive document.
There you go. Approve the waivers, probably.
We're missing anything? Keep me honest.
No.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the list of waivers included in the modification document in front of us for LeBaron Hills Residential. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the list of waivers.
Do we have a second? I can make a second as the chair. It's not normal, but I will. Well, everyone usually says I'll step down, but I know I don't have to say that. So I'll make a second to approve the waivers included in the modification. So we have a motion and a second on the table. Any questions or concerns with any of the waivers, anyone?
I will second.
I just did, so I beat you to the punch.
Okay.
All right, so I don't hear any questions or concerns, so we'll take a vote. All those in favor of the motion to approve the waivers? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right. Now we need a motion to approve the modification of the comprehensive permit for LeBaron Residential. I will entertain a motion. Anyone is so inclined.
I'll entertain the motion to approve the comprehensive permit for LeBaron.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
Any further discussion? Questions? All in favor? Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously.
And
Anything
I would-
else?
I would just say, make a motion similar to the last three, but just one motion to approve of
Oh, for
the
me.
chairman.
Yeah, that's
to
right.
sign-
Yeah, that's right.
To sign the
So they can
documents,
chase me around town.
plans,
So,
documents, plans, and the regulatory agreement as necessary on behalf of the board.
hopefully everybody heard all the documents that are going to require my signature, and now we need a motion to allow me the authority to sign, so we don't all have to keep coming back and meeting and doing it and signing it as a group. I'll entertain a motion.
Can we collectively make one motion to?
That's what I said. Yeah, we're not going to do them individually. That's why I said, as long as everybody heard all the documents he said, we're going to do it in one motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the chairperson to collectively sign all required documents for the comprehensive permit.
Well said.
Perfect. You're going to second that one, huh?
Second.
Look at that. All right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. I think that's it. We sewed it all up, correct? All right, we do not have any minutes or anything else, because Kathy's been plenty busy typing up one for this meeting. Let's see, do we have any old business to come before the board? I do not see any other correspondence. Next meeting is May 18th. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So made.
I would hope it would happen relatively quickly. Do we have a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Just out of curiosity, seeing the meeting's over.
Opposed? No one's opposed. Motion carries. We are finished. Thanks, Joseph.